Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for October 6, 2021, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Just a little heads up. Due to unforeseen circumstances, we will be changing the conference line numbers, and I'll give those tonight at the Time for Change call. And we'll post the new numbers on our website, weareonelightforall.net. So just a little heads up, we will not be using this line anymore. We will go to a whole new line and conference. So just so everybody knows that, because if you come to this line tomorrow, no one will be here. We, all of us, are creating this world, this new earth. Some of us, maybe unconsciously, but there's a lot of us consciously that are creating this new earth, this transition. And we ask ourselves, what kind of a earth, what kind of a world do we want to live in? We have the power to create that ideal world. And we've always dreamed of in each moment, and we can choose to embrace love over fear. It's a choice. Empowerment over victimhood, and compassion over criticism. It is really that simple. And all you have to do is listen, and you'll already feel the beauty of the world that we're all creating. We can relax, all of us now, and stop worrying about everything. We are destined to have the most amazing life imaginable. There are many powerful, enlightened, loving beings coming our way to assist us. Our future is bright and totally flawless. Our future is incredible. It is brighter than 10,000 suns, no matter what has happened in our past, and all of us are destined for an unforgettable and amazing future. Why are you so afraid of the world? The fear of the world is really fear of love. Okay. The greatest truth is that we are divinely guided through this great journey called life by a higher presence and purpose. We are just going to feel more successful, experience more love, become more abundant, and have deeper peace, and feel more joy, bliss, and freedom than ever before. Our lives and our futures are only going to get better and better and better. Accept this by taking a deep breath and inhale this information into your heart right now. Focus on feeling this expansive, positive, heartfelt future. The first thing when you wake up each morning, take a breath in through the nose and a breath out through the mouth. Breathe it in. Explore the sensation as reverently as you would care for your first newborn child. This life is about learning how to let go of control and letting in more gentleness and love. Just imagine that you inherited a magical pot of gold that is always pouring infinite great riches into your life every day. Matter is energy. Energy is light. We are all light beings. Albert Einstein. The God within these bodies is a light being. Matter is energy. Energy is light. We are all light beings. The key to a successful life is to always remain open, receptive, and curious about the present. Stay in a place of wonder. There is great power and wisdom within this. As we learn to trust this moment, our inner guidance will guide our way. we will be able to hear exactly what our highest potential experience is. To hear this wisdom, all you do is simply relax into your body. Do this as often as possible. Let go of everything you're trying to control and relax your body. This relaxation opens your mind so you naturally can find your way. This constant relaxing and releasing practice will build a foundation of joy inside each and every one of us that is unshakable. We will become like a mountain of peace who has the ability to know the divine being that we all truly are. Establish this relaxed body in your life, and you'll be able to navigate through any circumstance life gives you. He who thinks he is the doer is also the sufferer, Ramana Maharishi. If you really want to know how ridiculously wonderful and awesome your life can be, stick to the idea that you are a powerful, moving energy into form, creating into reality, manifesting being who can create anything you want. Your physical body is a manifesting machine, and it is always manifesting whatever you are thinking about. Remember, it's whatever you're thinking about. Whatever you focus on is what's going to manifest. You ever notice that if you're in a tizzy or you're stressed, fearful, worried, it just seems to keep coming? And you ask yourself, when is it going to end? It's when you stop literally thinking about the doom and gloom. And it's not that easy for us to focus on everything that we want and ignore focusing on what we don't want. That's what we do. We ignore the avenue of, of focusing on the things that we don't want. Now, obviously, when the universe answers, just like we have said, it's important to be in great detail when you think about what you want. Not just lazily, just throw one statement out there, but think about it very carefully, detailed on what you want. Because it can come in two ways. There's going to be a good part of it, and then there's going to be a bad part of it because you weren't as in detail as you should have been. When you apply the ancient secret laws of manifestation, you can attract any situation, person, amount of money, and miraculous experience to you. And it doesn't matter of your current situation. It doesn't have anything to do with that. You could be in a cardboard box under an overpass. It doesn't matter. It's what you focus on. What you're going to attract is how you're feeling. How you're feeling is what you attract. You'll soon experience the most profound life you could have ever imagined when you understand this and you're mindful of it. It's already all of ours, each and every one of us. It's not something you develop. It's something that you have that you discover to use. Each one of us, this is our lifetime to shine, to be glorious, to be a glorious being of light who is truly alive, empowered, in love, and free. We will live for eternity. And sure, this body, mind, will cease someday. Yet we will go on and on and on. And once we know in our hearts that we have an infinite amount of time ahead of us. We will relax and step into an expansive, timeless, multidimensional spiritual experience. Every little occurrence becomes another opportunity for spiritual growth and enlightenment. And here's something that you can apply. Act as if you are living an ever-youthful, energetic, super-alive body-mind. Act as if you are living an ever-youthful, energetic, super-alive body-mind that will live far beyond 1,000 years. Have conversations with people from this place, knowing you will live forever. Imagine the wisdom, relationships, and life experiences you will have during this time. Feel, experience, and know you will live in an ideal anti-aging state of being. Explore, imagine, and rediscover who you are. One thing through our imaginations, never give up on your dreams. Follow your dreams because they know the way. See, when we have dreams, we kind of blow them off. Oh, that would be so nice, and then we forget about them. But not all of us. Never give up on your dreams. Follow your dreams. They know the way. Life is here to challenge us to grow in ways we cannot imagine. Our lives are meant to be dangerous so that we don't fall asleep at the wheel and take this amazing world for granted, as has happened. It is the scariest ride, and yet the most exhilarating one you'll ever be on. It is in your darkest hours of this life that you simply need to learn how to relax. Let go of your agenda. Realize that the light is always on at the end of the tunnel. Your real challenge is to learn how to do this every day, trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly as it should for your soul's highest evolution and consciousness. When you choose to accept this divine challenge, you stop resisting this opportunity to grow and take it on as an enlightening adventure. If you would like to experience being truly unstoppable in your life, learn how to increase your consciousness and expand your energy by tapping into a higher vibration of belief in yourself. You won't care so much if things go exactly as planned. Instead, you'll just continue to do what inspires you and lifts your vibration. There is a way you can turn up your energy so high that nothing can get in your way. It starts with a commitment to yourself. Then you will keep sacred for the rest of your life. This commitment to yourself that you will keep sacred for the rest of your life. This commitment is to be kind to yourself, gentle with you, and never come down hard on yourself, no matter what. Follow this one sweet little secret for even a few weeks in a row, and you'll start increasing your vibration to attract, create, and manifest everything your heart desires. And think about this, about dreams. And I've shared this before, but it needs to be repeated often. Albert Einstein did not speak until he was 4 years old. Till he was 4. He did not read until he was 7. His parents thought he was subnormal, and one of his teachers described him as mentally slow, unsociable, and adrift forever in foolish dreams. He was expelled from school and was refused admittance to the Zurich Polytechnic School. He did eventually learn to speak and read, even do a little math. Winston Churchill failed sixth grade. He was subsequently defeated in every election for public office until he became prime minister at the age of 62. He later wrote, "Never give in, never give in, never, never, never in nothing. Great or small, large or petty. Never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never, 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 never give up." As a young man, Abraham Lincoln went to war. A captain, he returned to private. Afterwards, he was a failure as a businessman. As a lawyer in Springfield, he was too impractical and temperamental to be a success. He turned to politics and was defeated in his first try for the legislature. Again defeated in his first attempt to be nominated for Congress. Defeated in his application to be commissioner of the General Land Office. Defeated in the senatorial election of 1854. Defeated in his effort for the vice presidency in 1856. And defeated in the senatorial election of 1858. He later became the 16th president of the United States of America. Walt Disney was fired by a newspaper editor because he lacked imagination. Think about that one. He lacked imagination and had no good ideas. He went bankrupt several times before he built Disneyland. In fact, the proposed park, the original, was rejected by the city of Anaheim on the grounds that it would only attract riffraff. Henry Ford could not read nor write. Failed and went broke 5 times in business before he succeeded. As an inventor, Thomas Edison made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts, as we know, at inventing the light bulb. When a reporter asked, how did it feel to fail? 1,000 times. Edison replied, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. Thomas Edison's teacher said he was too stupid to learn anything. His teacher said he was too stupid to learn anything. He was fired from his first 2 jobs for being non-productive. Louis Pasteur was only a mediocre pupil in undergraduate studies and ranked 15th out of 22 students in chemistry. R.H. Macy failed 7 times before his store in New York City caught on. Van Gogh sold only 1 painting during his life. This was to his sister of one of his friends for 400 francs, approximately $50. This didn't stop him from completing over 800 paintings. F.W. Woolworth was not allowed to wait on customers when he worked in a dry goods store because his boss said he didn't have enough sense. When Bell Telephone was struggling to get started, its owners offered all their rights to Western Union for $100,000. The offer was disdainfully rejected with the pronouncement, what use could this company make of an electrical toy? And how many people have a telephone today? Sigmund Freud was booed from the podium when he first presented his ideas to the scientific community of Europe. He returned to his office and kept on writing. Rocket scientist Robert Goddard found his ideas bitterly rejected by his scientific peers on the grounds that rocket propulsion would not work in the rarefied atmosphere of outer space. There's a message here. An expert said of Vince Lombardi, he possesses minimal football knowledge and lacks motivation. Lombardi would later write, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up. After Carl Lewis won the gold medal for long jump in 1996 Olympic Games, he was asked to what he attributed his longevity, having competed for almost 20 years. He said, remembering that you have both wins and losses along the way, I don't take either one too seriously. Babe Ruth is famous for his past home run record, but for decades he also held the record for strikeouts. He had 714 home runs and struck out 1,330 times in his career. About what he said, every strikeout brings me closer to the next home run. Hank Aaron went 0 for 5 his first time at bat with the Milwaukee Braves. Stan Smith was rejected as a ball boy for a Davis Cup tennis match because he was too awkward and clumsy. He went on to clumsily win Wimbledon and the U.S. Open and 8 Davis Cups. Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bill Walsh, Jimmy Johnson accounted for 11 of the 19 Super Bowl victories from 74 to 93. They also share the distinction of having the worst records of first-season head coaches in NFL history. They didn't win a single game. John Unitas' first pass in the NFL was intercepted in return for a touchdown. Joe Montana's first pass was also intercepted. And while we're on quarterbacks, during his first season, Troy Aikman threw twice as many interceptions, 18 as touchdowns, 9. Oh, and he didn't win a single game. You think there's a lesson here? Charles Schultz had every cartoon he submitted rejected by his high school yearbook staff. Oh, and Walt Disney wouldn't hire him. After Fred Astaire's first screen test, the memo from the testing director of MGM, dated 1933, read, "Can't act, can't sing, slightly bald, can dance a little." He kept that memo over the fireplace in his Beverly Hills home. Astaire once observed that when you're experimenting, you have to try so many things before you choose what you want, and that you may go days getting nothing but exhaustion. And here is the reward for perseverance. The higher up you go, the more mistakes you are allowed, right at the top. If you make enough of them, it's considered to be your lifestyle. After his first audition, Sidney Poitier was told by the casting director, "Why don't you stop wasting people's time and go out and become a dishwasher or something?" It was at that moment, recalls Poitier, he decided to devote his life to acting. When Lucille Ball began studying to be an actress in 1927, she was told by the head instructor of the John Murray Anderson Drama School, "Try any other profession." The first time Jerry Seinfeld walked on stage at a comedy club as a professional comic, he looked out at the audience, froze, and forgot the English language. He stumbled through a minute and a half of material and was jeered off stage. He returned the following night and closed his set to wild applause. After Harrison Ford's first performance as Hotel Bellhop in the film Dead Heat on a merry-go-round, the studio vice president called him in his office and said, "Sit down, kid." The studio head said, "I want to tell you a story. First time Tony Curtis was ever in a movie, he delivered a bag of groceries. We took one look at him and knew he was a movie star." Ford replied, "I thought you were supposed to think that he was a grocery delivery boy." The vice president dismissed Ford with, "You ain't got it, kid. You ain't got it. Now get out of here." Woody Allen, "I don't want to achieve immortality through my work. I want to achieve it through not dying. 80% of success is showing up." Michael Caine's headmaster told him, "You will be a laborer all your life." Charlie Chaplin was initially rejected by Hollywood studio chiefs because his pantomime was considered nonsense. Decca Records turned down a recording contract with the Beatles with the evaluation, "We don't like their sound. Groups of guitars are on their way out." After Decca rejected the Beatles, Columbia Records followed suit. In 1954, Jimmy Denny, manager of the Grand Ole Opry, fired Elvis Presley after one performance. He told Elvis, "You ain't going nowhere, son. You ought to go back to driving a truck." Beethoven handled the violin awkwardly and handled it awkwardly. Preferred playing his own compositions instead of improving his technique. His teacher called him hopeless as a composer. And of course, you know that he wrote 5 of his greatest symphonies while completely deaf. Leo Tolstoy flunked out of college. He was described as both unable and unwilling to learn, no doubt a slow developer. Louisa May Alcott, author of Little Women, was encouraged to find work as a servant by her family. Emily Dickinson had only 7 poems published in her lifetime. 18 publishers turned down Richard Bach's story about a soaring eagle. Macmillan finally published Jonathan Livingston Seagull in 1970. By 1975, he had sold more than 7 million copies in the U.S. alone. Jack London received 600 rejection slips before he sold his first story. Publishers rejected Richard Hooker's humorous war novel, MASH. He had worked on it for 7 years. Publishers rejected Dr. Seuss's first book, To Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street. You see the message here? How many of us have been denied by others? This is why it is so important to not worry about what others think, ever, ever, ever. Is to focus through the heart and to focus on the life that you choose to create for yourself. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. Always relax in the body. The body's a magnet. Remember, the body holds the mind and the ego, subconscious mind. It stores all of these emotions and experiences that we pick up like magnets throughout our existence in these bodies. And as we do that, we live them, we create them, we recreate them. Let's say it that way. We recreate them, but they're not ours. They're not ours. Remember, when you have a thought and you operate from the heart mind, the thought goes out. It doesn't come in. You generate the thought within yourself. That's how you discover where these thoughts coming from. They're not mine because they're coming in. They're like clouds passing, by you in the sky. You grab onto one. This is how we get rigid, uncomfortable, stressed, worried, fearful. So in relaxing the body, you can visualize it. It's just letting go. Sometimes it's not easy to let go of things. Because if we it's like we think, well, the ego mind says, well, you can't let go of that. You let go of it, you lose it. And that's just not the case. You let go of it because you have no expectations and no attachments with it. And you ask yourself, do any of these serve me the greater good? Does my constant worry serve me the greater good? No, it doesn't. What does it do? Well, it causes a lot of issues in my body. What about fear? Does fear serve me the greater good? Sometimes fear helps, motivates us to move into courage. All these things are given to us in these bodies we can experience, and then we can understand, determine what the heck we're doing here. And so when we determine to understand, commit to understand who and what we are, God in the body and not the body, then we can regulate the body. Then we can look and say, no, I'm not going to take this life so seriously. I'm going to laugh more, play more. I'm going to have fun with myself more. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to have downstream thinking. And you keep repeating this, and eventually you'll move into that. And the body relaxes. This is how you eliminate the stress. When you look at things, you don't absorb them. You look at them and say, not a big deal. If I embrace it, then it causes stress. So why would I embrace it? Why would I attach myself to it? See, because as soon as you walk down that path of worry, stress, and fear, guess what? You start creating more of it. The universe will give you as much as you want. So as long as you're worrying, stressing, and fearing, you ever notice that? Some of us don't pick it up. It's just like, well, this is normal. But as we do that, more comes. And you notice we worry and stress, fear more. And it's like, it's constant. It's like worry and stressing and fearing more. Why is that? Why am I doing that? And the body gets tense. Because I keep attracting more, and the universe gives me more. Situations, occurrences, or as soon as you have, as soon as you have a worry gone, another one takes its place immediately. You ever notice that? Because the universe keeps giving them to you. Now, when you say, why would I worry? I'm in this body for a period of time, and then I leave it. What is there to worry about? Everything I acquire here, I leave behind. And that's the truth. So everything that you acquire, or that you come into having, you enjoy it as much as you can. Because you know that eventually it'll be left. As soon as you leave that body, all that stuff is gone. So why attach to it? Why have expectations with it? You enjoy it. While you're in that body, enjoy as much as you can. That's where the body relaxes. In a relaxed state, all the pain, suffering, worrying, and stress bounces off of you. You create this field. Okay? So, doesn't it make sense to relax the body as often, like as soon as you open your eyes in the morning, breath in and breath out, move into deep gratitude for everything. Thank you for this day before you do anything. Sets the frequencies. You're tuning into them. The universe responds. But if you wake up in the morning and go, oh, geez, another day, then guess what? That day will be stressful. So as the body is relaxed, guess what happens? When we relax our bodies, we're in the now. You ever notice that? You ever notice that all the pain, the suffering, the fear, when we relax our bodies is gone? The noise, the chatter that we all have, that mind chatter, gone. Because when we relax the body, we focus on our breath. We breath in through the nose, breath out through the mouth, and we listen to our breathing. And as we listen to our breathing, the body relaxes more and more and more. And we become peaceful. And in a peaceful state, you attract anything you desire. You move into dreams. And then what does the ego mind say? Oh, that's silly. Why are you dreaming about that? That's never going to happen. You see, that's how that works. But through the heart mind, the ego mind's not there. And you say, oh, sure it'll happen. You dream about something, it's wonderful, and you let it go. Because it is the purest way to manifest, is to dream. Dream about what you desire, and that desire will come. Dream about what you don't desire, and that desire will come. So in the now is all we have. No matter how much that ego mind argues with you, it's the now is it. We don't have a past. Past is history. Gone, dead. We've extracted experiences from the now, which is the past. The future isn't created yet because we create the future in the now. Everything happens in the now. And when you relax and you feel good and you're just kind of easing along, a lot of the stuff that most people take for granted, and then they take things so seriously, that's how they get the stress. That's how they become fearful. Disappointed. Ah, oh, darn it, I wanted that. Shoot. Or you get worried that there's not enough to go around and you might not get it. That's ego mind. When we let go is when we receive. When you hold on to something, it's like fighting a windstorm on an oily slope trying to get on the top. Some of us, we go into the past and we have memories. So we go into our library, which is our subconscious mind, where everything, since we've been in this body, everything is stored there. Huge library. It's yours, personal. Every memory, every experience, everything's there. Good, bad, ugly. So we go in there and we reminisce because something will spark it and say, boy, that reminds me. Oh, geez, I wish I could do that again or something like that. It gives you a good feeling. But we don't stay there. Now, some people stay there, though. And they stay there so long that they end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist. They create that past, that future from that past, and they relive that past and that future. Some people, a lot of people, have, they'll say, why, no matter what I seem to do, I always end up here. And the reason they say that is because they've been living in the past. And a lot of the times they don't even know it. Others of us go into the future. We wander around. We don't wonder, we wander. And when we do that, we just kind of flow around. And why isn't this happening for me? And how come I haven't gotten this yet? And how come I haven't met the person I want to meet? When am I going to get a better job? When am I going to get paid more? When am I going to have a better boss? When am I going to be happy, finally happy? When am I going to have enough? See, it's just endless. It's endless. And that's frustrating, too. But in the now is the calm. It's the relaxation. It's the ease of the body. And see, here's where we focus on being gentle, kind, generous, humble. This is where we focus on being 24/7 in deep eternal gratitude for everything. Not just a few things, everything. Being in deep eternal gratitude always. And so when we are seduced by passing thoughts, that the majority aren't ours, there's tens of millions of them that float by us. And so we grab onto it, not intentionally, and we float off. And we're out of the now. Now, when you understand that, you say to yourself, I floated off, not a biggie. I'll focus on my breath, I'll be in the now. 3,000% of the time, you'll be in the now. What's so magical about my breath? It's just breath. Well, the soul enters the body, powers the body. Body functions. Breath sustains the body to hold the God, the kingdom of God within it. So it is really divine positive energy. It's not just breath. Till we focus on our breath, we're in the now. And that is something phenomenal to know. And you'll know it because it'll proof it out every single time. You'll notice a huge difference by being only in the now. Someone comes up to you and says to you, hey, Bill, what are you going to? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? What? I am only in the now. That question is superfluous. I'm only in the now. I live in the now, moment to moment. And you know why you do that? How do you know that's only going to be your last moment? You don't. That's one of the reasons you stay in the now, in deep gratitude, and always gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourselves. And in the now, we still the ego, we still the mind, we still the subconscious mind because we leave them alone. You'd be amazed when you leave your mind alone what happens. When you go into meditation, when you just sit, focus on your breath. That's meditation. Sit and focus on your breath. Don't be interrupted. Just ease into it. Focus on the breath. You're breathing. You don't have to breathe crazily. You take easy breath in through the nose, easy breath out through the mouth. part of the enlightenment. Now we know by looking at the body carries everything. And when you look inside the body that you're in, you see, okay, so you see these chakras, which means wheels of light. And there's about 7 of them, and they go from the tailbone to the top of the head. Now, when you view them, they're etheric, they're spiritual, just like you are, the God within that body. And when you view them, what's the connection there? What is it? You flow, the God that you are in that body flows through those chakras, wheels of light. And that means you're connected to everything in that body from the quantum quark on up. All the blood flow, all the blood cells, everything. Everything. What does that mean? It means that when you finally make the commitment to yourselves to connect with the God within you, and that's where you stay, with the God within you, then you will know that you will be able to heal that body, that you, the God that you are in, instantaneously. How do you think Christ did it? And Christ was a man, and he had the Christ energy. What do you think all of us have? The Christ energy. The white light. Divineness. We are all highly evolved beings of light. Not the body, but the God within. And we keep evolving. And we keep creating. And we keep learning. So then we know that parts of us, as the gods that we are asleep. Can't shake those parts awake. They come into their own on their own. Then there's other parts of us that are awake. To a certain extent. Those are the parts that we connect with. That's all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That's all the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. All the galactics, off-worlders, celestials. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime, and all lifetimes we've inhabited. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All light energy beings on this planet, those, because of our eyes, we only see 1% of what is. And they come in shapes, color, sizes, forms, and configurations, and all kinds of light spectrums of which we don't see. But we are familiar with a few. And we've been taught that those are fairy tales. Another lie. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do, so we don't see them like we see each other. But we meet with them and we interact with them. A lot of times we interact with them, we don't know we're interacting with them. Have you ever noticed that when you do recall, when after you've interacted with an angel and you know, the conversation, whatever the interaction is finished, and then you go about your way. But it comes over you and say, that was, and it's always from the heart mind. It comes over you and says, that was an angel. And you look, because it was just an instant, and you look and they're gone. And they can surround any one of us at any time in the tens of thousands of numbers. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And if you'd like that to happen, just ask them. They'll be there. And then you'll be in true bliss, and the bliss that you are within that body. And they have one message, but they deliver it in many different ways, and they have for eons. And it is, isn't it absolutely magna, glorious, spectacular, marvelous, stupendous to be alive in these bodies? And that's bliss. The Ascended Masters, they've mastered physical, ascending into physical, mastering physical. They mastered physical and ascending out of physical and hold pure God form, pure consciousness. We have ascended into physical, are mastering physical, creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, all the celestials, the galactics, and off-worlders, we're only familiar with just a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 species travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. The ones that we're kind of familiar with, Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Sirians, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Greys, Nords, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid Avian. Now, this particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And we're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand. And all the light energy beings who come in the gigaplexes, one gigaplex fills this entire universe with not even a square inch of sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes. And we're all connected because we're all one, the gods that we are within the forms that we are housed in. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We form a circle of light immediately at the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This circle of light emanates from the God force, love light energy, the God source, the kingdom of God within each and every one of us. It is omnipotently powerful. It is what we are all made of. The highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And it floods this planet 24/7. All life, the highest supreme value in the universes. On it, in it, above it, and below it. Nonstop. And you feel that through your heart minds. That love pouring all over everything. Not once in a while, it's always. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. It's like a light show with colors you've never seen before, multicolors, flashing, laser lights, reflecting. It's like one of those ballroom globes, mirror globes. But this one's about 1 trillion times more intense. So we go to the focus of where the reflection is, and we see these little microscopic mirrors, and we go into them, and we discover that all of us gathered, all of us is one, all the gods within us are learning and teaching and learning with each other. It doesn't matter if you're 1 million light years away. We are learning and teaching. We are all one. We are moving, interacting. Could be a bug that lands on your hand or arm. Could be a spider making its web. It could be a squirrel, a deer. Nothing is chance. Nothing is a coincidence. Specifically giving messages. And it's amazing what you can do. One time I was in the woods. There was a herd of deer. And they were feeding, grazing up the mountain. And so I looked at one. It was a female. And I started dancing. And she watched me. She was probably about 20, 30 feet away. But she watched me as I was dancing. And she started dancing. Reared up her, her front quarters and actually did a dance. So it is amazing when you interact and you acknowledge that all life is the highest supreme value in the universe, no matter what it is housed in. All God, all parts of God. It's fascinating because this is what we do. Then the next time someone comes into your life, or the second 10 seconds or longer, instead of judging the surface of them or their actions, ask yourself, what are they teaching me? What are they teaching me? What am I teaching them? What are we learning? That's been provided to us through this endless journey. Just imagine after you're 1,000 years in that body, all the rich, enriching experiences that you will have acquired. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. You're then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are imbued from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, with an impenetrable white fire armor. This emanates from the kingdom of God within all of us, the God source. It is pure, deep, eternal love. It cannot be penetrated. Its frequency is of the highest high. No demon possession, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequency. As long as we maintain our high vibrational frequency, that armor is intact. And nothing can harm us. Ever. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through anger, greed, hatred, fear, envy, hurriedness, expectations, attachments, stress, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part is the purple transmuting flame.
This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. And then immediately following, the second column, the violet ray. This is a column of light we created to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high and the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we've created to remind us all, the gods within these bodies, that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain, the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the trees, the forests, the soils, the sky, the clouds, the mountains, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the grasses. We are everything, and everything is us, the gods within these bodies. So the next time that you view a sunset or a sunrise or a starry lit night sky or a rainbow, it is the God within you. You're the divinity, the majesty, the beauty, the grandeur, the splendor. It is you. So the next time you do see it, you'll understand that you won't stand there and say, isn't this beautiful? You will look and say, this is me, the God that I am. We continue to ascend above the planet. And as we do, some of us step outside of our physical form and hover effortlessly above them, if we're carrying physical form. And why do we do this? Well, because we can. We immediately come upon this massive crystalline light tower, and it's so huge. It's larger than a solar system. It's just beyond comprehension. And in the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, we see this golden white ball of light, and then it is surrounded by a multitude of shimmering, multicolored rings. We notice that it is all of them are sending out these pulse waves of, it's like a sparkling mist, energetic field that it's like a warm embrace that doesn't end. And the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love. And then we have gratitude and peace and kindness, gentleness, generosity, and humbleness. And we've got bliss, joy, well-being, great prosperity, great abundance, tranquility, benevolence. It's endless. It's an ever-flowing stream of this sparkling, misty light that absorbs within us. And then we discover that it is a reflection of the gods that we are. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, as it's been continually doing for millennia. This golden ocean saturates all life, the highest supreme value in the universes, on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, consciously. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drop, drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere, it's that center circle. We created this sphere going on nearly 4 years ago. It holds 1,600 of our meditations in perpetual motion, which means they never end. They never cease. They never weaken. They never dissipate. They strengthen, and they keep strengthening. You imagine all of those highly intended meditations through hundreds of millions of us, on and off world. Think about it. Feel it through the heart-mind. Flooding us all. On, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now. Endlessly. Flooding us, saturating us. It's almost a feeling of giddiness because it's so exciting. It's so wonderful. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That's why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. The quality of our personal relationships represents how we're interconnected and whole we are within ourselves. Take some time to recognize and acknowledge all the interactions, all the connections, relations, and relationships you're still thinking about from your past. This may seem like an impossible feat, yet just do the best memory recall you can. Go back to your childhood, grade school, high school. Take a good look at what memories you are still repeating. What would you have done or said differently? What do you wish you would have experienced? What happened to your heart when you did start doing and saying what you wanted to? So go and tell those people what you most need to say. Start doing those things you most want to do with them. This is your chance to make a significant life change in their hearts and in yours. This is huge, and it will free up more spiritual connection than you know. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return.
Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Shine the light of consciousness into your unconsciousness, and you will illuminate your soul. Right now, there's a massive amount of hidden, unknown, buried material in our unconsciousness. Sometime today, for 30 minutes, bring your awareness into your unconsciousness. And how do you do this? Sit in a dark room, close your eyes, relax deeply into your belly and body. Allow any thought to arise that may be hidden beneath the surface. When they do, the instant they enter your mind, imagine you're shining a bright golden spotlight on them immediately. However, this light is so powerful, it incinerates the thought, and they dissolve instantly, giving more space for you inside. During this exercise, know that you are safe here, no matter what you experience, even though you may see nothing and feel nothing. Stay present to the void. You may feel your entire body and mind have disappeared. Simply remain present and aware that consciousness is always here. Take that with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here tonight at 9 p.m. for our Time for Change call, and tomorrow for our Global Guided Meditation call.